Hello God, my name is Clermont. So yeah, we're still here in the zombie horse farm and we added some quality of life. So I added something to craft carrots. So I need a lot of golden carrots, so yeah, I planted carrots and I added I brought two donkeys, but they are just spawned. So yeah, they have zero stats. So the donkeys are different from some horses, like they always spawn with the same stats, like 7.555 meters per second, 7.55 meters per second, 1.659 jump, the same. And oh, the hearts do change. I didn't know hearts changed. So it has 22 and it has 23. So yeah, we can pretty much. So I'm going to be breeding them, but yeah, I will not do that in this episode because we already did a lot of that just last episode. So I will do it in the background. So yeah, let's get to what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have been designing the bulk storage. So if you guys don't remember, the bulk storage is supposed to be in the copper bank. So the copper bank is bulk storage. So yeah, the copper bank is the idea is that there will be the copper columns are storing all the excess items. So you have like an account in the bank, and then you can access like your chests if you want, or you can have two other way, which is to request items. So I am in my base, so I send through the mail system like I want stone. So the copper bank will send me like stone depending on how much stone I have. And the idea is that I will tell him like send me 27 chulkers or send me 10 chulkers and so on of each item. And okay, so the idea is that we have 153 items that I want to sort individually. Like let's say a stone. So yeah, I know I will get a lot of stone and I want a lot of stone. So yeah, I will have these modules. So here will be just for stone. So we have 20 chests for stone, which gives us 120, like 2,200,000 stone max at least. At least this is for a stone, maybe cobblestone, smooth stone, and so on. Like items that I know I will get a lot. So yeah, I have like those, and then I will have like a centralized storage for everything that I don't care if it gets sorted. If it gets sorted together, like let's say I get an excess of an item that I really don't care. Like maybe I get a lot of leaves, so that will go into a centralized storage that is going where I could go and check for the chulkers. So I will have like I don't know, like 32 chests or 30 chests or 40 chests. I don't know. But yeah, the idea is that so yeah, I will have like a centralized for filtered items and one that is for everything that I don't care if it gets sorted together or not. So if it is too much, then I will just grab a chulker and then go to my storage system and sort them individually, manually. The items that I know that they have to be together, like let's say ingots or nuggets, like iron ingots or iron nuggets, like I don't care if I sort. So I won't have like a module for iron nuggets and a module for iron ingots. So what I will do is craft the iron ingots into blocks and the nuggets into ingots and then into blocks. So I will have a system that automatically does that for me. For each of the stuff that can be crafted, like slime balls or redstone dust or gold and so on. So yeah, I will have like a system that does that. Now, for each of these modules, so for all of that, we need all of these signals. So like I said, I want to make, I don't know if I have mentioned this. Something that I want to do is sort two ways. So I will sort either full chulkers, because I know that I will send a lot of full chulkers. Like let's say I have my stone farm, so I know I will send like 27 chulkers of cobblestone, and I don't want to dispense all the chulkers, remove all the items, and then sort them in another time, because I already have them pre-sorted. So if I already have them pre-sorted, then I just want the system to detect if a chulker is pre-sorted or not. So I designed a system, which is, I think is there, where I am detecting if it's a full chulker with only one item or if it has multiple items. If it has multiple items, then I will dispense it and then check for the items inside. But yeah, this isn't, the system isn't perfect, but yeah. And we have also like an input item, like let's say I sell a shulker that isn't full, so then I have to sort all the items. If I send a shulker that is full with one type of item, then I will just send it through this water stream. So yeah, these chests have two ways of entering, like either the shulkers that get shulker loaded, or full shulkers that are here. But the problem is that we need more signals. So each module will need more signal. Like this is very simple, like input items. So I know that items will go here to be sorted. So then I have one water stream here that goes all the way. So this has to go always. So that's as simple. Now I need to fill the shulker loader with shulkers. So then I have an input with this, which gets me empty shulkers. So then instead of doing like this usually has like hoppers, like I have this tileable, so I have like hoppers like this. But having a lot of those hoppers is going to be very, first it will require a lot of hoppers and a lot of lag, because hoppers are very laggy. So instead of that, I made like a minecart track. So this minecart track goes all around until here, which gives empty shulker. So when I detect that I need a shulker, like I feel the shulker, which I can get it with this signal. Like let's say I put like something like this, then this sends a signal when there is something above. Yeah, I would have something like this. Well, not necessarily like this, because here I can't have it, but yeah, basically this will send a signal when this changes. Oh, no. Like this. So this sends a redstone signal. Let's say we have a piston, something like this. So either down or up, but I can get the signal from here. So it tells me like, hey, I just used a shulker. So then I sent a minecart with shulkers here, so it will fill each of these. They will go through the minecart system. Then we have we also have to detect if there are shulkers. So let's say I have a centralized storage for shulkers, so I need to detect if are shulkers. So if there are shulkers and it's a one here, then it will be yes, there are. So then all of this will unlock all these guys. So at this moment they are locked. So as you can see here, they are locked, which is important because I need to detect that. I think it's the opposite, right? Well, it doesn't matter, like this is just a signal. I just get a signal. So in this moment, all these guys are unlocked. But if I do this, then all of these will be locked. So I have to send a signal like every time that I run out of shulkers, like send a signal like, hey, I just ran out of shulkers, so please don't sort because you are going to break all the shulker loaders. And so yeah, you lock them here. So when I have shulkers, I do this and it unlocks all the filters. So yeah, that's something that is important. Then we have other inputs and outputs. So this is for the shulker, like here will go full shulker. So I know that I have a shulker that either was full of let's say mossy cobblestone, or a shulker that has many different items, because I'm going to sort like everything. Now I have to detect if this is one of the items that I have here. Let's say I have stone, so that's why we have this other system. So we have this other water stream. So this is filter items for the shulker sorter. Let's say this is for stone. Okay, so let's say I have a shulker full of stone. So the system already detected I have a shulker full of stone. Then I will send an item from that shulker into the system. So let's say this is the first filter. So yeah, it will go to stone. It will take this stone, and this will automatically unlock this shulker here, this hopper here. So then the shulker will travel here and get into this system. So it detects, okay, this is an available slot, so it goes into here. So the shulker full of stone will get here. Now, we have two other things that we have to take into account. First is that I need to, so I took that shulker that was full of chalk, I took that shulker that was full of stone, and I removed like 2 or 3 blocks. So then this shulker is no longer filled because I threw it into the system. Well, I will get to like one item. So I took one item from here, and then this item is now here. So this shulker is no longer full. So then I have to get this item from here. So that's why we have this hopper minecart place. So then we have a hopper minecart that will take this item, remove it, and then it has to be returned into this shulker. And then this shulker is thrown through the system. And once this system is done, then I have to unlock. I have to lock this hopper again, and that's why we have this system. So we have a piston every one of these. So it only detects when there is an item here. So right now this is on, so this piston is extended. Now but all the others aren't. You can see these aren't, this isn't, this isn't, this isn't. So I need to send a signal, okay, reset the shulker sorters. So then I press this, and it will only reset these specific. So it only resets this. So that's how the shulker sorter is going to work. Now another thing is that we have all these shulkers locked, all these hoppers locked. So we have these hoppers locked for each of these, so that we have as little lag as possible. So we have a redstone signal here. So then I need to tell the system, okay, please unlock the hopper so that shulkers can get in. So that's, I do it with this signal. So I get a signal here, and I send it a signal. Now this will unlock all these modules here, so in this side at least. And I have another one in this side. So yeah, unlock shulkers. So we will have like something like this. Okay, this unlocks all the choppers here, and this locks them again. So yeah, we have this system as well. I could do it. I was thinking like, because usually like in my storage system, like what I do is I unlock all the systems, but I really don't have to do that. Like I could take a signal from here. So maybe there's like a pressure plate here, which stops water from going through. And then we get the signal here, and this tells this guy, hey, unlock this. And maybe when it gets to the end of the stream, then I tell him, hey, lock them again. So we could activate only like these sites, and instead of activating everything, which is what I do in my system. Oh no, water. So that's all that is for input, I think. Now let's say I am requesting an item, so I sent an item through the mail system. So then what we have is a system like this. So I will have like, the idea is that I will have always like at least 27 shulkers. So as you can see in this barrel, there are a lot of shulkers. So let's say I request a shulker, then I will send the item. So I will send them in a minecart. So we have the chest minecart. So in the chest minecart, because I am using like the mail system, or well, I can do it in the mail system or in the copper bank, but it will depend. So when I want to request an item, I can do it either in the reception of the copper bank or from my base using the mail system. Now if I use the mail system, I have to send a stamp. So if I use the mail system, I will tell you, okay, send this package, send this message to the bank. So this is the copper bank. Now I want you to give me a stone, and I want you to give me 16 shulkers. So then I will send the minecart. So this is the request item. So I am asking for stone. So I have a system like this. So this is another hopper, another filter. So here goes the request item. Okay. So if this was set up correctly, which it isn't. Okay, if this was set up correctly, which it isn't. Okay, we sent a stone. So that tells me I want you to give me a stone. So I sent this, and then what this system is going to do is, so when I ask for a stone, so this guy will dispense 27 chokers. So yeah, the idea is that it will always dispense 27 chokers. So let's say I have in my inventory here. So as you can see, I got 27 chokers. So this is the max amount of chokers that I can request in the system. So I got 27 chokers. Now, why do I dispense 27 chokers and not dispense, like if I ask for 16 chokers, why do I dispense 27? Because I have another system, another centralized system that will be more intelligent. So it will receive 27 chokers and then dispense the amount of chokers that I asked for it. Because or else I have to do that system in each of these modules, which becomes like more annoying. It becomes really hard. So instead I have like a centralized place where I will tell, like, well, I will dispense the amount of items that I want. So I will get these items, like let's say 16 sticks, and then I will dispense 16 chokers of this type. So that will be like a centralized place. So it will receive chokers from every place. So if I get a signal here, then this will dispense 27 chokers as well. If I get a signal here, it will dispense 27. So each of these modules asks for 27, always dispense 27 chokers. Or at least the amount of chokers that there are. If there are 9 chokers, then it will only dispense 9 chokers. So this will go to the centralized place. Now, another system that I like is this one. Like, let's say I don't want to get to open the chest and check. Like, let's say I would have something like this. So this will have like a lot of chokers, but I don't want to get those chokers. I like get them, open it, get items, and then remove it, and so on. So what I do is I just get the items from here. Let's say this is full of sticks. I just get, I need items, and this opens, and well, it should reach here. So yeah, I just get the items from here. Like, so I get items here. If it gets empty, I just do this and get the item, and then this choker that is no longer full will go to the system to be sorted again. So I have this water stream. So this is another output choker for sorting. So I have to sort these chokers again through the system. Those are pretty much all the systems that I need. So yeah, I get all the redstone signals. Which is, this looks pretty cool. Like I like how this looks. Also the design, like I love how this design looks. So yeah, these indicator lights tell me like if there are items here or here or here or here or here or here or here, and so on. So I can see like from walking like how many of these chests are full. And then we have just like the end. I could, if in the future I want to extend this, that I just have to break this and then extend the water streams and the minecarts and the minecart paths. So yeah, this is like the for each module. So I will have like 4 of this. So these are 16. So another 16 there, 16 there, 16 there. So then I will have like 64 here. Then I will have like 4 floors. So for a max of 256 items. So I want to sort 153, but yeah, it could work for me if I have more, in case I need more items to be sorted. So yeah, the items that I want to be sorted are these ones. So yeah, we have a stone, cobblestone, smooth stone, granite, diorite, andesite, cobblestone, deep slate, a tough, and all of this. Maybe I will include deep slate, which I don't have in this system apparently, because sometimes I dig with without silk touch. But yeah, maybe not deep slate because I really don't use deep slate all that much. But yeah, maybe sometimes. So like bricks, packed mud. You have all of these. So these honey blocks, I will craft the honey bottles into blocks. I will have like a place where we will craft everything that can be crafted. So let's say melon slices, I will craft them. Well, not pumpkin, no. Wheat, slime balls, honey bottles, ice, no, gold nuggets and gold ingots, redstone dust, coal, and so on. We also have resin. So we have like with the wood types. Then we have like everything that is colored. So you can see the colored stuff. And then we have like stuff that is useful, which I didn't include rockets. Oh. Yeah, it should have like a box storage for rockets. Then we have like box storage for rockets. But yeah, that's why it's important to have like more than you need. Because if you don't have more than you need, then in this case, like if I had only made like 153, then and I forgot fireworks, and I'm like, oh damn, fireworks. Then I have to do another system, or I have to change that system. Now this is the redstone that I showed. This was like the first prototype. As you can see, the signals are different, but this is pretty much the same. The redstone here, I put it back because I wanted to like the nice overlay in front. So this is like the user interface. So I wanted to do it like more gorgeous. I got this redstone behind. So yeah, and this is like the design that I showed. So it's pretty simple. We only have like a server, and then casino. And this is basically instant. But this doesn't have full. Then the system that is going to detect, this is a system which job is that, so this is a centralized storage that will get items. So let's say I said I wanted 16 chokers. So I throw like this, but I don't know if this works already. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this is basically a system. So all the chokers will arrive here. So the 27 chokers arrive here. So we have like 27 chokers. Like let's say they all arrive here, then I get the items into the system. So I want 2 chokers. So the system dispenses 2 chokers. So yeah, this is how it works. Then I will have to remove all the chokers from here and then get them into the sorting again. I developed another system which is this one. So this one, what it does is separate the full chokers from the empty chokers. Now this is important because I will let's say I want for my system to sort. So I send from my base, I send chokers. So I need to separate the chokers that are full from the chokers that aren't full, because I will have a lot that are already pre-sorted. So if they are already pre-sorted, then I really don't need to sort them again. So then I need to separate all the possible chokers that I could get. So let's say this isn't full. So I have to separate the empty ones from the ones that aren't full. So I will have like a chest minecart here. So this will arrive from my base. So in my base I have a chest minecart. I put the stamp. So the stamp says, hey, I want you to sort this from the copper columns. So yeah, I will send the minecart. Then I have to separate each of these chokers, and we have the system. So the system separated the full choker from the empty ones. Well, the ones that weren't full. Now I use the system that I usually use, which is this one. So this is pretty much the normal choker unloader that I always use, but I change it by using this redstone. Now what this system does is that it will only break the choker when it is empty. So if it doesn't have that copper block there. So yeah, as you can see, it only breaks it. But if I put this, then it will break every choker that isn't full. So when it isn't full, then it will break it either way, like this. And it goes here. So that's how I detect it. I basically just use this redstone block. Then I have to detect when this is full. that now this is the guy that does that. So when this guy detects that, okay, this is full, so it sends a redstone signal here, which locks this hopper with this observer, then sends a signal to this piston, and the piston breaks it, but it goes to this other chest. So it's very dependent on where this which piston fires. If it's not full, this piston will fire. If it's full, this piston will fire. Yeah, that's how this works, which is not reliable. Like chokers are, when they get broken by a piston, they sometimes gets like a random momentum. So sometimes a full one may fall here, which will be annoying. But yeah, it is acceptable at least. Like I really don't care. As long as it isn't lost, then I really don't matter. Okay, then we have another system, which is this one. So this system is the most annoying one. And this is the slowest system from the system. So we have like the same, like that design. The minecart goes here, it breaks, and it separates into empty or full chokers. Now if it's not full, then it will be dispensed, and then the items will be unloaded. So we have like the regular unsorter. So basically without this block. So yeah, it will be if it's not full, it will be dispensed and then sorted. If it's full, then it will get into the system. So we have like a minecart rails, and we have to basically dispense minecarts for every item of the game, or at least all the stackables. At least that's the idea that I have. It basically goes here, grabs this, grabs this, grabs this, grabs this, grabs this, and then this hopper removes the first item. So that's how it works, like the way that, okay, it goes ta 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 and removes this. And then when it removes this, then it can finally grab an item from here, and it will grab a stone, then cobblestone, then smooth stone, then andesite, and for all the items. Then when it goes through here, then it will try to grab an item for each of the items that are here. So here we have stone and andesite. So it will grab a stone and then grab andesite. Then I have to remove the items from the minecart. So like I said, it grabs 3 of this. So the minecart grabs this. So then it will grab, like, maybe if the choker has stone, it will grab like 2 of stone. So then I removed the first 3, which were the filters, and we are left with the items that are from the shulker. Now then I remove all the filters. So we have filters that remove all the dummy items. So all these dummy items I remove. So this, and this. I remove all the dummy items, and then I break the hopper minecart. Now, if there are more than one item, so if it's one item, then it will go into this. So it will turn on this stuff. So here we have a stone and andesite. So then some stone and some andesite will be into these hoppers. So I will get stone here, and one item here, and andesite here, and one andesite here. So it will tell me, hey, there are 2 types of items. So let's simulate this. So we have 1, 4. So we have 1. But I should do it fast, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, as you can see, we got andesite and stone. So this basically creates like a filter for each type. So we get 1 filter here and 1 filter here for andesite. And then as you can see, we got 2 cheers. So that 2 cheers give me a redstone signal of 2. So like this. So it gives me a redstone signal of 2. So it tells me, hey, there are multiple items. So since there are multiple items, I have to get this shulker, dispense it, and then remove all the items. Now let's say there's only 1 type of item. So then we have to remove this. We have to reset the system. So this is important. So we reset the system, and then now it's reset. Now let's say I have a shulker that only has stone. So if it only has stone, it will get dispensed, okay? Now we send the hopper minecarts. Also, this system gets reset by using a multi-item sorter using copper golems. So the copper golems will get the items here, and then they will throw it in the correct chest. So it is from here, if they had gotten the items, which they haven't. So the reason why I didn't have filtered this system is because they got stuck here. So I made this. The idea that this should work, but yeah, sometimes since pistons are weird with quasi connectivity, then they sometimes don't work. So I have to make a different design because this is getting annoying. Maybe I'll just do this. I'm you. So yeah, the hopper golems will receive the items, so all the items will get to into this water stream, and then the copper golems will start sorting them. So we have 10 copper golems and we have vines. The idea of the vines is that vines stop mobs from colliding with each other. So then these hopper golems can walk freely without colliding with each other. So I think that should make this faster, but I don't know how good it works. Yeah, I got more of these guys because I put more in the system. Okay, now the copper golem returned all the filters. So let's say we have all these filters. Now I have to send all the shulkers, hopper minecarts for all of this. Now, like I said, this shulker only has a stone in this moment. So only a stone. So that means I have to send all the minecarts for here. So here are 11 minecarts. We send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now, since this shulker only has stone, then the system detects it. So now I only get 1 cheer. So if we get 1 cheer, then we get a redstone signal of 1. So then it tells the system, okay, this is only 1 item. So then I will break this shulker, then send this item. So this is the item that tells the shulkers. Oh, I almost died. So I get 1 of those items, I throw them in this chest, in this barrel. So it will detect, okay, so I want you to unlock this stone. So from those stone, it will throw them here, and then the minecart is going to remove them and then return them to the shulker and then sort them here. The shulker will be dispensed in this water stream, and then it will get sorted. If it's only 1 item, if it's multiple items, then it will pre-sort them. Now this isn't perfect because maybe I will get, let's reset this. So what happens if I, for some reason, get a stone, something like this. So it is full of stone, but it has unstackables, or maybe it has something that isn't in these filters. Now, let's say for some reason I have some maps. I have some maps from here, which I will probably never get into the. I will never get in the system because how can I, like, there can be infinite amount of items in Minecraft. So for some reason I have like these maps with ID. So then I will not have a filter for those. Now, if this guy stops, yeah, they already stopped sorting the copper golems. Now here, let's say we'll send another 1, 2. Now I sent the minecart, and this shulker has multiple items. But since they aren't in the system, or they can't be sorted because they are unstackable, then this will still send me a redstone signal of 1. So then it gave me a redstone signal that is wrong. So it is wrong. So, but it will still go into this spot that is supposed to be for only shulker full of stone. So then I will get a shulker that is erroneously flagged by the system as full of stone, but I don't care. Because there is an alternative, like the one that is perfect, that will sort everything and will never make mistakes, is going to be dispense the shulker, remove all the items, and then sort them again. The problem is that that is pretty slow. Like each shulker has 1,728 items. So that means that I have to always sort all those items. Now imagine if I throw 27 shulkers, or I send 20, 81 or 90, I don't know. If I send so much shulkers, then it will take an eternity to sort. And this is for bulk storage, so I will send a lot of full shulkers, because that's the idea that I have. And many of those shulkers are already pre-sorted. Like there will be like very rarely that I will send a shulker that has multiple items, because I will already be sorting them in my storage system. So that's why this really isn't a problem. And this is a lot faster than dispensing all the items and then sorting them manually, which takes a lot longer. So this system is going to be slower. Like let's say I have multiple items, in that case it will be very slow, but for like pre-sorting and like shulkers that are already sorted, then this is a lot faster. But yeah, that is the advancement, what I have done for the copper bank. Okay, yeah, I worked already on that, and I think I finally have a finished prototype, but I will show it next episode. And I'm lagging so much, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have many zombie horses. But yeah, next episode I will build a dark oak farm, and I will show the prototype already finished, because I made a lot of changes. Oh, lag. Okay, so thanks for watching, bye!